Yeah, all right, here we go. Hang on.
Bless you.
No, it's like, whew.
Bless you, I say heal.
I'm healed. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our spiritual sojourn. So good to see you. Hey, Tom.
Hello, Laurie.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well.
I am, especially now. So had some back issues, but I'm all better now.
Okay, good.
So this week, we had gotten, I don't know, a few weeks ago, a question from one of our listeners that I thought I would address in our session today. And the question was, what do you think about if someone encourages you to only communicate with God, in quotes, and to completely shield yourself against guides and other beings? And I thought, well, that's an interesting question. So I kind of checked in for myself, checked in with my guides, and let me just get out of the way for a minute and see if they want to start today and just give us a little bit of an insight into that. We are very pleased to have this opportunity to address this question, for there is somewhat of a misunderstanding when it comes to communicating with beings of light, your guides, the angels, other beings of light that wish to communicate with you. We would encourage you to work with your guides, to work with your angels, and to build that relationship of trust using meditation and regular interaction so that you are clear that when you are asking for our support or guidance, that you know without a doubt that it is us that is working with you and asking us to help you to put in safeguards, such as helping to shield you from lower vibration, lower frequency energies that may try to interfere, and begin to trust our relationship and know us through your heart space. Always check in with your heart, for that is the soul, that is your connection to source, and that is your true way of knowing what is good for you and what is highest and best and in your best interest. The more we communicate with you and you build that trust, the easier it will be for us to help guide you. And you can then be assured that you are not being misled. Remember, dear ones, everyone is a part of Source. Everyone is God. That is no exception. All is part of God. We are part of that divine being of Source, as are you. Always listening to the soul self, to the heart, is a way that you can check that validity. For as we are connected and we are part of Source, so are you. That will always be your guidance and help you to discern what in fact is the truth. Always trust your soul, your higher self, and your own feeling that you receive from us and from yourself. Use your discernment always. All right. Thank you, guys, because yes, that's what I have gotten over the years for myself when I've not been sure, when I was asking for support or asking for some information and I wasn't sure where the information is coming from, or if some energy is coming through and it just doesn't feel quite usual, then I always step back and move my consciousness into my heart. And if this energy is connected to source and has the highest vibration, then my heart opens and it feels very much open and wide and receiving. If it doesn't, everything feels contracted. And so I've learned over the years to trust that and to allow that and to always stop and ask, wait a minute, is this really my guide or really a guide that is of highest and best, of best intentions? My guide also, I trust that if I ask that energy, is this okay? Is this a being that I can communicate with? I trust that this energy will say yes or no, and will also help that energy to move along if it's not what's highest and best good for me.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
One of the last sentences while you were channeling that came through was about how you feel. And I think our bodies can be the indicator for what's coming through. In fact, it just happened just this moment. Lots of us get a rush of a warm feeling or goosebumps, or some people it's chills.
Yes.
I tend to get a warm feeling in the back of my neck and down my shoulders when that presence is nearby. And that's
Yes.
something I don't think you wake up one day and you turn on. You've got to practice
Yeah.
um, getting communication and knowing the last time that happened, I know it was a really positive, loving, godlike experience. And so I know that that's going to apply to this situation as well. And if you don't get that, that's when you need to question everything.
Exactly. Exactly. Years ago, my guide was working with me and, helped me and basically said to me, the best way is to build our relationship. And that means communicating with me throughout the day, having meditations, calling me in, have me, talk with me when you're driving your car,
Mhm.
pretend I'm sitting next to you, whatever. But to really build that relationship. And the point was that it's just like any relationship with anyone, with your friends, with family. The more you know someone, the more you interact with them, the more you come to realize you can trust them. And that's what I've built up over the years with my guides. And so I trust that whatever they're saying to me is going to be the highest and best good for me in that moment.
Mhm.
Then, so that's what I kind of the message I had received. I shared that with the person who had sent in the question. And then I was watching uh, uh, another podcast, another channel who is on YouTube. It's on the GFL station, and it's a YouTube channel, and it's the Galactic Federation of Lightworkers. And this woman, her name is Brianna B, and she channels an intergalactic, interstellar being named Tia, capital T apostrophe EEAH. And she has some interesting information. And one of the things that struck me in relation to this question was that she was talking about paying attention to red flags and learning to discern if this is true or if it's not true, and was pointing out how there are those around us who will present something that seems true, or they'll present it as the truth, or they'll present it as, oh, we're going to finally share something that has remained hidden all this time. And what happens is they're really intermingling a little bit of truth with a whole lot of that isn't true, and really kind of sowing those seeds of doubt and fear, and to keep us stuck where we are and not sure about anything and fearful. So she outlined that when you're working with someone, whether it's a teacher, a guide, whoever, listen, and even just in the general, like listening to the news, listening to the messages that are being sent to us, if the message makes you feel when you move into your heart space, because that's the true place to find the truth. When you move into your heart space, do you feel a sense of disempowerment, that you're feeling weaker, fearful, just feeling like no, like hopeless in a sense, and that somehow maybe you should be letting those in authority kind of run the show? The second was paying attention, especially in groups, if it's all about one person's personality and presence, and that the loyalty is really aimed at that person. So that cult mentality, to really listen to that and pay attention to that, how that makes you feel. And again, if your heart feels contracting or you're just like questioning things and feeling like maybe I shouldn't be, that's a red flag to pay attention to and to step back and really check in with that soul self or the guides that you trust. The other was division and secrecy, where whoever you're working with or listening to, if they're promoting an us versus them idea and talking about, oh, you're part of this group and so you're special and only a certain group of us are going to get to transcend or move up or whatever, really, again, pay attention to how is your body feeling. Pay attention to what your soul is saying in that heart space. Is your soul, is this heart expanding or is it feeling contracted? Always come back to that,
Mhm.
because her point was that true teachers encourage openness, encourage everyone to use their own discernment and to ask questions. Those who are trying to keep us small and stuck in fear, they don't want any of that. It's like, don't question me. I'm the authority. Don't use your own discernment. Don't ask questions because that means then you don't trust me. All of those kinds of messages that we receive. So she was really encouraging us as 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 sovereign beings and also as connected to source all the time, to remember that we are connected to source and we have that within us to make those discernments and to always use them, no matter who it is or how much you may respect them or think that they know a lot. Always check in with yourself to make sure that yes, they're in alignment, and so you can feel comfortable with their information.
Even with just arguing inside your own self a little bit.
Yes.
If you are debating a situation, a problem solving, and I'm not talking about should we go for Italian or Chinese. I'm talking about, life decisions.
Right.
Should we take this trip or should we not take this trip or whatever, something major. You
Yes,
check in with yourself while you're having that discussion and get guidance and get that feeling that tells you you're on the right track. So,
exactly.
so that's not even just with red flags of other people, it's just in day-to-day stuff. And that's part of building that relationship that you were describing earlier.
Yeah,
And that the practice that you need to be able to know when it's real and when it's not.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Some days that's easier to do than others. And I find if I'm tuning into my heart space and I can't, still, I'm kind of blocking, ego's blocking whatever is there. If I tune in to my stomach area and my stomach hurts, then it's like, oh no, this isn't for me.
Ah,
There's something wrong here. So I would say, listen, really check in with your entire body. Does it feel tense? Does it feel relaxed? Does your stomach hurt? That's a perfect barometer for me. Does my stomach hurt? Then something's wrong.
mhm,
Sometimes my ego doesn't want me or kind of blocks my being able to discern my heart space. And so if I check it, my stomach though, always that's that one for sure clues me in.
mhm.
Yeah.
And it may be different for everybody, but you're lucky that you have one like that that's easy to detect.
Yeah.
And for
And
the people, it may not be that.
absolutely. So that's why I'm saying always check in just physically. How do I feel in this moment with what's being said or what these people are suggesting? How does that feel in my body? Because that's going to be a real good barometer for you. Absolutely.
And that's a no right there. That's the answer, no.
All right.
Sometimes you might not get a no. You might just have to keep going until you get a yes.
Yes. And when in doubt, I would say just step back and, you know, let it sit for a while. Don't be pressured into something that maybe doesn't feel 100% correct.
Right.
And the more you can practice each day connecting with that soul, connecting with your heart space, the easier then it is to drop your consciousness there in the moment and trust it
Yeah.
and to have ego kind of step aside. But the more you can just drop into that, then it builds again that relationship and you begin to recognize how that feels and the information that you're receiving from that soul place.
And then hopefully you get to a point where you don't even necessarily have to ask. Maybe it just shows up for you. Uh, you're doing your normal thing and you get a message or you get a feeling that says, oh, maybe we should
It's
do that.
yes, yes. My perfect example for myself is I will get these great directions from my guides, my angels, whoever, when I'm driving, and they'll say, okay, turn here. And then it's like, what? And then I've missed the turn before I can turn because I'm questioning them. And so I'm learning to go ahead and if they say, okay, at the next stoplight, turn, even if my GPS says not to, I will turn because they see things that I don't and that my
So
GPS doesn't always catch.
this is so wrong in so many ways. Your guides have an app for that. My guides don't help me that way.
They do. Honestly, yes, when I used to work driving around the city all day before we even had cell phones and GPS, literally my angels would give me turn by turn how to get to somebody's house.
Where the rest of us are jealous, let me just put it that way.
It's practice. It's practice, practice asking them to come in and help you and guide you, and then trusting them and doing as they guide you. Many, many times during those years, I went down the block, turned around, and turned where they told me to because
That's
I knew
awesome.
it was correct.
That's awesome. And that's the level of trust that people need to build. That doesn't happen overnight. That's
No,
it's a
trust me, it takes practice. And even though I know, there are still those days where I'm like, I don't think that's right. So I'll be turning around and going back.
oh well, so that's a really interesting, very down to earth, literally approach to getting guidance that most of us didn't know was even in the realm of possibilities. So that's a great one. While you're doing that, I'm busy saying I know I should have turned left at Albuquerque. So
Been there, done that. Absolutely.
congrats on your new app
Yeah.
or your app. I don't think it's new.
And we all have it. That's the thing. It's like I always say I have, I have not global GPS, but I have angel GPS.
That's pretty awesome.
And I think sometimes I've learned over the years that also when I keep hitting, like, I keep getting delayed for some reason when I'm driving, like traffic is really slow or we have to make a detour. What I've come to understand is it's because my angels are protecting me and see situations that they don't want me potentially to be in.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Those delays you get might be the ones that save your life.
Exactly. Exactly. So I've learned to have more patience with that and not be frustrated and just say, oh, okay, something's going on. I don't know what it is. And it's all for my good.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's a level for us to aspire to achieve.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like I do that all the time because truly I do not, but am getting better.
It's still a good level to achieve.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
and in answer then to swing this back around to the original question, which was, who do you trust?
Yeah.
Well, after a few times where you get good directions driving, or you get good guidance on, do I trust this or do I trust that? Then then you have your answer in your body as to whether it's a good source or not.
Right. And for me, the overall point is that those beings are source as well, just as we are. We're all part of God. We're all part of source. And as we build those relationships, we can trust it.
Mhm.
Because I guess my question would be, how do I know I'm actually communicating with God then?
Well, well, yeah, that goes back to what we were describing with getting experience, but it's the old you don't have enough experience to do this, but you have to try it in order to get that experience. So
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
This has been really good information, and every time we all think we kind of understand it, there's a little twist or a little more to it that enlightens you just a little further, and this is one of those. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
is there anything else on this subject that your guides would like to bring forward to us?
Know that we love you dearly, that we agree to come with you as your guides, as your guardian angels, as beings of light, to work with you, to guide you. For we understand that being a human being is very difficult. And we try to help you navigate this, remembering that you are a divine being having this human experience and being able to navigate this world as easily as possible. There are always challenges, and we truly want to be with you and provide the guidance that will make your life as easy as possible. We want whatever is highest and best good for you. That is our only motivation, is that divine love that we send you and the guidance that we give you to help you navigate this life and avoid some of the difficulties that you will face every day. When you ask, we will also help to protect you as much as we are able from those lower frequencies, those lower vibrations that do not have your best interest at heart. You do need to request our assistance each day so that we have your permission to work with you on this. We are not allowed to interfere with your free will. You always have choices as a human being to listen to us or not, take the information or not. It is your choice. By agreeing to work with us, by asking for our assistance, we are then able to step in and guide you more clearly. But we will never violate your free will, and we will only be loving. There is no judgment, no anger with you because you did not do what we said. It is always your choice. So know that we are here only as part of Source to guide you and to love you.
That's a great way to end that message. They're always welcome to ride with me, but do not touch the stereo.
Oh, now it's on.
Now it's on.
You know they're going to change the station somehow.
That's a great message, and thanks to you, and also especially to your guides for bringing that message through. And we'll all find usefulness in that. So thank you very much.
Sure.
So if you've enjoyed today's program, please give us a like or a subscribe, and you can put comments in and ask a follow-up question or a completely new question that maybe we'll address in a future episode, just like we did for today. And we will be sure and get back to you on any questions you put in the comments or in the post section of our YouTube page. Last and certainly not least, if you'd like to get a hold of either Laurie or Tom, you can do that at ourspiritualsojourn@gmail.com. And we thank you for your presence today. Bye.
Bye. Well, that was fun.